So we've looked at a lot of different things influenced by steampunk. You've looked at portraits, fashion, islands, all sorts of things. This week we're doing trees. Okay, imagine a world without trees. We need them, don't we? They breathe in the carbon dioxide and give us out the oxygen that we need, and we do the opposite. So if we didn't have trees, the world would be in a bit of a mess. But let's imagine actually there was some machine type steampunk trees. What would they look like? Could they grow by themselves like trees grow from a seed? Let's look at how you draw a tree. When we're very young, like year 2 or 3, we tend to draw them like lollipops, don't we? So we tend to just say, okay, it's got a trunk and then there's some leaves, and we just tend to do that, or we might put a few bits of fruit on it, and that's how we would draw a tree. But actually that's not how they really look. There's so many different trees in the world, but they tend to get gradually smaller as the branches turn into twigs. So let's have a look at that, and let's not make it so straight, let's make it a bit organic as well. So maybe there's a little bit of a branch that's fallen off, coming out the sides as well of this big trunk. You could put some kind of bark type lines into it, and then as the tree comes up, it branches out. And they don't all branch out at the same point. Some might go up a bit further, the thickness of it like that, and then branch out further up. Trees are amazing natural sculptures really, because if you think about it, they balance themselves out, so the weight, they don't fall over. The roots are obviously going down into the earth as well. You might see some of them above the ground. Okay, so as they branch out like that, each time they branch, you tend to get thinner. So this one will then get gradually smaller again. Again, don't branch them all off at the same point, make some of them come out. And as you can see, as they come further and further, they get smaller and smaller until they're almost just a line, a twig coming out at the top. Now, you might not take them all the way up because you might decide that actually some of it is covered by the leaves, depending on whether it's a winter or an autumn, spring or summer tree. I'm just going to spend a little bit more time adding a few more branches and twigs like that. But once you get that idea of how you do it, it can be really quite fun because you can just invent a tree that will look fairly realistic by using that method of gradually making it smaller as they come away. A bit like the arc trees turn into the veins, turn into the nerves and get smaller and smaller. Now this is a very natural looking tree, but we want it to look steampunk. So what are we going to do to it to make it look like that? Well, let's start doing, instead of these natural leaves like that, how about we draw some cogs and wheels of a machine coming out from the branches like this. Okay, so, and this is where you'll have more straight man-made machine type lines like that. Maybe there's other things like, you could do some tool type things as well, like, spanners and things like that you would use in industry. Maybe some of them actually turn into pipes and you have kind of smoke, steam I should say, coming out of them. You could have bits of chain going round the tree and dangling down instead of leaves. Okay, it'll take a bit of time to really build it up, but you've got the whole lesson to do this. So you could do some things bigger than others like that. Right, so in the slides I've put some examples that you can look at. So go back to those, I don't think you'll see it on there, so go back to those ones and just have a look at all the examples to get some more ideas, and we look forward to seeing your work later. Have a good lesson, bye bye.